It is 4:55 p.m. on Tuesday, April 8, 2024. This is documentation showing a screen recording in order to make plain again and another vivid illustration regarding what is the specific environment where gang stalking is underway, properly referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring. And this is criminal surveillance that's underway by the government, and it is underway by the government in the United States of America. I'm in California, specifically in Southern California, in San Bernardino County in Ontario, where literally what you see at the bottom is the location where the sun was documented. That is, it's been at the same location since this morning, and I'll go ahead and show you that briefly before I show you the evidence of the light source being in the same position like it is above where I am in Los Angeles, as you could see, at 1810 North Alvarado Street. I'm at work, I'm standing at my office door, I'm looking in the sky, and the sun is right above my head. And you can also see the fact that it is very low in elevation. Oops, sorry. It is very, apologies, hold on. It is very low in elevation. It's right at the roof of the building. This is recognizing that fake sun and that fake sun behavior where it hovers over us. It hovers right over the building. It's often adjacent to the building as opposed to being above it. And where it's above it, it's hovering essentially like sitting right on the roof of the building. And then you'll also see a vast change with regard to my movement. Where I move from where I'm located, this is the illusion that the sun is suddenly far away. As I move, the fake sun advances above me, and you can see that in the environment. These are just details you can pay attention to, and it's not persuasive when you're looking at the fake sun is there all day long, so it's also not anywhere else when I just start to move and that fake sun moves with me. This is what you'll learn when you document it and you see the fake sun over through your sunroof. I had a sunroof in my car, so it's very easy for me to see that, and I documented it on video while I'm going through different counties, while I'm going to different cities, while I literally remain in my car, for example, like I documented on Lark Ellen in West Covina, California, at all hours, 7:50 in the morning, 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the evening, and that fake sun is still in alignment to me through my vehicle windows on Lark Ellen Avenue, like I documented in West Covina, California. It's the pattern of conduct, not the natural environment, that would encompass that. The sun is literally over one street for the duration of the day as you break that documentation down. That's impossible. Okay, so this is where you are seeing at Woodside at the bottom at 9 a.m. What is the entity show? It's stalking with engineered light, and that's what you see inside of the apartment here, and that's why I took the video. So this is shade. You see shade here. You see the recognition of shade is that which is distinct from sunlight. So you can see the sunlight because that's supposedly the sun, and that which is the shade is supposedly not shade. That's where the sun is not. There's a distinct difference. Okay, so where the light is, that's supposedly sunlight. And also you can see that it is not inside of the apartment. It's not on the door, neither would it be based on the position of the sun. All right, but yet above the door is what I'm documenting. And in the absence of any light or any sunlight, there is light that's manifesting above the door on the inside of the apartment. And this is what I'm documenting at 9 o'clock in the morning, where you're understanding none of this is sunlight. Nothing that's covering us, none of this is sunlight. We are subject to what is surveillance in the United States, and it is demonic. In case you did not know, Satan is real. He is a spirit. He is the prince of the air, as is referred to. And so he is also a wannabe God. He tries to mimic and imitate God, but he is not. Okay? He is not the equal opposite of God. So this fake sun chicanery that I've documented is not the creation of Lord God himself, who created one sun and the moon in Genesis in scripture. This is the prince of the air, Satan himself, a demonic concoction that's surrounding all of us in the United States, because I'm in the United States, so I'm prosecuting here, okay? Of course, this is relevant to what's going on in the rest of the world. It's evident in the environment, but I am in the United States of America, and so I am limiting my commentary, except for where I find it relevant to expound upon it. But with regard to the United States, with regard to the federal government, with regard to the P.O.C, as you juxtapose the sun in Florida and the sun in California, for example, on the West Coast, and specifically over me in the side space, as I'm at one apartment building all day long. Okay, so that which is sunlight is distinct from where there is no sun, shade, and you have what is recognizing light that's manifesting out of nothing, nowhere. That's the light that's covering everything. The fake sun is an ornament. to cause you to never question or be able to recognize the significance of what we are all subject to. And the significance of this light is what is monitoring by those who are also spiritually in darkness, because only those who will have the spirit of Satan are monitoring. That's demonic behavior, period. So I said what I said, and that's exactly what it is. Only the demon possessed are monitoring. Obviously, not everyone is demon possessed, because I am not a demon, and I'm speaking to and calling out demons that fill the state of California. Yes, fill the entire state of California while this demonic system is underway. But I want to show you the significance of presence in this environment where surveillance that affects our communication devices, it impacts our everyday life while you're under surveillance everywhere they're going. It's also, again, at nightfall underway, where the same character of this engineered light that creates multiple shadows, magnified size shadows, your shadow above your head, engineered light that appears above your head, because that's not sunlight that appears above your head on the inside of a building. This is engineered light that's also present at nightfall. That's, again, when you're breaking apart from what is this fake sun in the sky. It's not the sun. It's not the natural environment. Okay, so this is what's relevant while I'm practicing. While I am prosecuting and I am documenting this video at 9 a.m. And what is inside above my head, this is the same light that is, sorry, let me show you this. This that is above my head that's manifesting in the dark, that's what all of this is outside. This is all engineered light. All of it is engineered light. None of it is sunlight. And the common sense identifying factor is the fact that that which is not even the sun is also idle over one place all day long. And that is, again, just ongoing corroborating evidence regarding what it is that I have exposed about the environment, where you are able to recognize what's underway in this country, in California, which is surveillance. And it is satanic at its core. And it is engaging the demon possessed who are monitoring people. They're monitoring, and you don't even know it. And all they're doing is being present in that light around you, while the demon possessed know who you are. This is speaking to the spiritual realm, which is very real. Okay, so that's the significance. I want to show you a little bit of this video really quick, and then I want to go to the purpose of this video, which you can see at the top here. The video is captured at 3:01 p.m. and I'm going to show you the entity gang stalking me by the government acting directly, targeting not only based on the use of the helicopter, but also the timing where the entity is using the helicopter, which is as I'm documenting, and also the environment where you see the idle fake sun that's present at 9 o'clock in the morning, like is in this video, and I'm standing on the same sidewalk, and the fake sun is still over me at the same sidewalk hours later in the video that we will look at and compare it to what's going on at the same time on the same day in Los Angeles at Alvarado Gardens, where LAPD is engaging in the same pattern of conduct, gang stalking me, as I am indeed being targeted by the state. Okay, so I want you to see this really quickly.
It's stalking with light. This is where the entity is maintaining amplified, audible activity and maintaining presence. Presence at an apartment complex where gang stalking is underway is by the very residents themselves and the employees. Okay, this is the significance at what is 12:53 p.m. The fake sun being right here, and the residents are pacing with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. At 12:45 p.m., the fake sun still being here, and the Ontario Fire Department pacing using sirens and trucks where the demons are part of the government, the City of Ontario gang stalking. That which is engineered light. This, which is engineered light, is appearing on the inside above the door, on the inside of the apartment, just manifesting out of nowhere.
So, and if you pay attention to that, as you can look at it, it's light that's originating right here, just out of nowhere, okay? So, the crack in the door, and if you pay attention to the details here, there is no light here. And also, pay attention, let me just fast forward, because you'll see the position. This is where the fake sun is, outside of the apartment, away from the door. Light, sunlight, is not reaching into the door, upward above the door, into the depths where this is all shaded, and then light is just manifesting inside of the apartment as I open the door. So this is helping you understand the spiritual realm as it is being revealed to you through the operation, through this presence of light, and it is supernatural while it's occurring right in front of your eyes in ways in which you are not paying attention to. You're not paying attention to that level of detail. You're not paying attention to the placement. You're not paying attention to what happens when that light, when you step into it, when you move around in it, how it reflects off of objects, and how many shots. You're not paying attention to all these things. But it is revealing what is supernatural. It is demonic. And it is where surveillance is underway. And a lot of these tech companies, these social media platforms, we're using our communication devices and we rely on them. We're under surveillance on them. And this engineered light affects the operation of our communication devices as well. And it is crucial with regard to this system of surveillance that's underway in the country. monitoring everything, monitoring us as people, and also monitoring internet activity, monitoring the use of communication devices where nothing is private. So I just want to speak to that. And the entity is gang stalking under the fake sun that's at the same exact location where the Ontario PD are flying over my head in helicopter 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 to 7 hours later, where the fake sun's over me at the same location over the same sidewalk. So.
And it's distinct from what is the fake sun that is still here, as you saw in video, reflecting off of these vehicles in the same parking lot of at what is 2:52 in the afternoon.
So while you can see shade distinct from the light, you need to understand that this is not sunlight. This is breaking down what we would provide our own logic to this. This is the sun that is casting the shadow of a tree, and in between the leaves and whatnot, you can see sunlight that's touching the sidewalk. That's what you would reason, that this is the explanation for this light. None of this is sunlight, okay? And it is also manifesting on the inside of the apartment, as you can see here, out of nowhere, okay? That is light that is manifesting out of nowhere, and it is bending upward into the apartment above the door, and it's the same lit circumstances as I captured on video at 4:18 p.m. yesterday evening, as the defendant enters the apartment, and this same engineer light appears above the door in the evening while the fake sun is on the opposite side of the same apartment at the same address, okay? And it is equally not light activity. It's, excuse me, not sunlight. It's impossible light activity. All right, so this is just evidence of what is the idle light source, while the entity is indeed gang stalking as a whole apartment complex, as a citywide effort, as the Ontario police show. Gang stalking with the entity who you hear engaging in what is the criminal acts of defamation, engaging in what is harassment and terrorism, while monitoring and exhibiting severe mental illness in doing so, delusion in doing so, okay? Hostility toward what is, again, guilty consciousness of guilt, again, fear, while you are documenting which is your constitutional right, your human right. And so I want you to see this light source here.
Side of the apartment just manifesting out of nowhere, okay? Because also sunlight's not traveling in through the shade and then somehow manifesting in the concentrated light above, and it's distinct from what is the fake sun that is still here, as you saw in video, reflecting off of these vehicles in the same parking lot of at what is 2:52 in the afternoon. The same park.
And that's the video that I captured yesterday afternoon. Not only that, you are aware of the video that I juxtaposed this video evidence at 9:06 a.m. At 9:06 a.m. on this day in 2024, the fake sun is over me while I'm in my office at work, where I'm being gang stalked, where I'm perfectly capable of maintaining employment, as I always have been, and the entity is targeting me in the workplace like it's targeting me here in Ontario, California. And that's why you're going to prosecute the entity for everything that comes out of the mouth of demons who are malicious psychopaths who resort to name calling in order to render documentation, which stands alone by itself. Period. No act of defamation will ever render illegitimate, hard, tangible facts about surveillance that is proven and already laid out, okay, for clear understanding and understanding the significance of the malicious system. But aside from that, the entity that is gang stalking in the workplace and then using that as a means to criminally defame the target individual, which actually, with regard to what I've been subject to and understanding criminal defamation, has actually nothing to do with mental illness, in fact. Okay, the entity is engaging in what is criminal defamation as a means of harassment and terrorism while monitoring, and the same entity is the one that's targeting me in the workplace, which is what you see at 3:01 p.m. today. So this is what we're going to look at. While you see the fake sun, this is the same apartment, same location. It's remaining throughout the day, as you can see. This is 1:23 p.m. This is the same front door. 9, 10, 11, 12, 4.5 hours later, it's over the same building. And this is, again, engineer light. None of this is sunlight, nor is that the sun, and it is remaining over me, as you can see above, at 3:01 p.m., where I documented the sunrise in Los Angeles, as I lived and worked there, and the entity was engaging in the same targeting system. This is the light source that's, again, over, the same exact apartment building, maintaining what is negligible, incremental movement from one side of one building to the next, which is not characteristic of the sun. It is speaking to the purpose of it to provide some sort of delusional narrative regarding the purpose of all the light that's covering everything, and it's not sunlight, nor is that the sun. And there is also a body of evidence speaking to the sun being in a mutually exclusive position in Los Angeles in the same manner over the top of my head, including at the same time while the following occurs.
Ontario PD gang stalking with the demons in unit number 55, who is stomping extraordinarily loud as I take pictures of the engineer light, the evidence of the Ontario PD engaging in surveillance inside of the apartment, which is a facilitated venue, not a private residence. This is, again, Paul Leon, Mike Lorenz, Michael Gherkin's a part of the same criminal pattern of conduct. And this is the entity that is stalking under the fake sun that's right here at 9 o'clock in the morning where San Bernardino County Sheriff is gang stalking. This is P.O.C. path. They're flying higher than...
This is the entity that is indeed gang stalking, flying right next to the fake sun. This is essentially the same location it was at this morning as you just saw in the 9 a.m. video. And it is in the same position, what is 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 6 hours later, while the entity is also clearly targeting by flying over my head, which is referred to as crossing path. The sound of the helicopter is also accomplishing a criminal purpose while monitoring is underway. These are demons that are creating audible activity while they are crossing path in engineered light that is monitoring me, that is underway by a police department in conformity to a pattern of conduct that is also identified and understood and recognized in the greater context, where LAPD is doing the same thing in the same environment, which is impossible for that environment to be naturally occurring, speaking to what is no ordinary conduct, what is no coincidence amongst the heavy helicopter activity that centers on me. And I'm not making that up. I'm not hypersensitive. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not just imagining that I'm being targeted by helicopters that are just flying over me all day long. The entity is indeed flying all over me all day long, as I've documented, and they're doing so because they are indeed stalking, gang stalking specifically, and it's demonic activity that the two police departments are engaging in conformity to a pattern of conduct. So while you see this fake sun over my head and the entity gang stalking by helicopter, this is at Woodside Senior Apartments in Ontario, California, which is entirely distinct from what's happening at the same time at 3:01 p.m. on the same day in 2024.
All right, it is currently 3 p.m. And it is, again, April 8, 2024, and I just want to capture what is, as you've seen on an ongoing daily basis, the maintenance of what is a light source that's appearing from the beginning to the end of the day. And what is so fascinating and why I wanted to step out and capture video, again, this is historic with regard to this light source that is supposedly the one sun. And I'm looking at the news, I'm looking at Fox News, and they're showing what is footage of different locations where they're looking at the eclipse. And it's 3:01 p.m. right now, and I'm on the internet, so I'm not sure. It says that it's live, but I'm not sure. But I just want to be clear. This is the ongoing body of documentation that exceeds just 2024. This is an ongoing body of evidence showing what is literally impossible as I have captured it. This is the maintenance, meaning the sun rising and sun setting. That is the substance of my documentation. While the light source is hovering over building 1810, which is what I'm facing, while a demon is crossing path in that environment, in what is sunlight that you see appearing, for example, on my ceiling inside of my apartment, which is no iteration of the natural environment, and I'm looking on the news at those who are showing even footage from different states of what is supposedly the eclipse. And this is what I'm speaking to with regard to getting narratives from the people of the state who are even reporting the news to you. There is no indication that, for example, in Indianapolis, that you're looking at this light source that's hovering right here above me and aiming what is supposed to be sunlight, which, again, the natural environment, sunlight would never appear in this manner. This is within the body of the pattern of conduct where the entity is engaging what is the maintenance of engineered light. Engineered light engages in what is gymnastics, reaching underneath covered structures, hovering above buildings, right? While the entity is stalking in helicopters and planes flying right next to this, which is supposedly the sun. And the entity is maintaining this light source that's hovering over where I'm located for the duration of the day, replete with what is engineered light. The entity is keeping the light source beginning of the day and the end of the day, and then when I go into my apartment, which at 5:49, I'm going to capture more video. I've already captured that, but I'm going to do another complete day of capturing the light source from the beginning to the end of the day, and at 5:49 p.m. you're going to look again at what is the Fontana Police Department engaging in terrorism, just like you saw the LAPD engaging in terrorism, criminal surveillance in concert with the people of the state who live in what is a phenomenon, the sun rising and setting at one address, okay? And it's even more specific. It's rising in alignment to my apartment at 1806 in the living room, and it's setting in alignment to my apartment in my bedroom window. And it includes what is not even natural sunlight. Sunlight does not create any magnification and upright shadows. It doesn't create light that appears on your ceilings when there's no indication of the light source either under any circumstances. And this is relevant to what you are looking at on the news when the people are talking about, and NASA is speaking to, this eclipse that's underway. I want to be clear. You are aware of what is an unnatural environment. You're aware of the necessary and control in real time of the environment that is under no circumstances naturally occurring. And so I want you to look at this, pay attention to the documentation, and also pay attention to what you're being told, what you're being fed. on television. Okay, under no circumstances is there going to be the sun that they're looking at in Indianapolis while it's hovering right here, and this is what you're going to look at, and then you're comparing what you're being told in this world. All right, that's what I'm speaking to. And then you're talking about the unmistakable pattern of conduct. The state is stalking. The state's engaging in surveillance. As I capture the pattern of conduct, that is the P.O.C. And then you're looking at comparing to what you are told out here in this world with regard to the natural environment, with regard to what's supposedly some eclipse, and you're even getting footage. They're showing you. This is what's so fascinating. That's why I wanted to. Matter of fact, let me include it. I want you to see this.
Alrighty, so I am going into what I documented on this day, the phenomenon. It is equally a phenomenon in my personal view, having documented this and observed this and literally studied it in order to not only prosecute it, but also to educate about what is deceptive. And that deception is understandable because a lot of us are too busy to sit around looking at the sky all day long, because that's not what I was doing. I found myself surrounded and I found myself being harassed and targeted, including on the job, where the entity will then try to, as you witnessed, try to use the fact that they are targeting you in the workplace as some sort of basis for your not being able to hold a job. But again, listen to the speaker. Whose mouth is it coming out of? The credibility of the speaker, not only the fact that it's the entity that this is a demon, literally the person themselves. Nonetheless, the entity is engaging in the pattern of conduct, and the entity is doing so in a manner where we are not typically paying that close attention to the environment. But it is crucial that we walk circumspectly because the days are evil. That's what scripture says, to pay attention to what is going on. And you are very much aware of being made aware of what is going on around you and with those around you, even in the environment that surrounds us. And it is supernatural. This supernatural character is regarding the spiritual realm, which is very real. Okay, so this is what I wanted to document. It's 3:04 p.m. when I captured this video with regard to a 3-minute negligible difference. 3:01 p.m. The video is 8 minutes long, so it ends at approximately 3:09 p.m. and it's ending at essentially the same time. My video today in 2025 starts at 3:04 p.m. It's approximately 4 minutes long. 3.5 minutes long, and it ends at 3:08 p.m. where the entity is indeed gang stalking, targeting me specifically by position over my head and by the position of the fake sun, showing you who is being targeted under what is a light source that's at the same position it is at 9 o'clock in the morning, and is also in this same zenith position over me in an entirely different region. This is all manner of identifying how the demon-possessed are maliciously targeting, and doing so in a way where you're not aware of it, and that's where you're getting to criminally defaming the person that is supposed to be falsely depicted as imagining it, as hallucinating, as being paranoid, all right, even being unable to even recognize, fathom, or articulate what's going, which is very understandable because it's very sick what the demon possessed are doing. It's very wicked. All right, this is the work of Satan. It very much is. It's very malicious, and it's designed to psychologically harm. It is currently 5:18 p.m. This is P.O.C.